So we've seen rising inflation, we've seen mortgage rates increase, we've seen the price per square foot of homes increasing, we've seen the days on market decreasing. What does this mean for us in the housing market as we enter into the spring, summer, and fall of 2022, and what might we expect for 2023 and beyond? Well, today we're going to be talking about that. Let's give you an update on the real estate market. So if you're a buyer, seller, or investor, you'll be better prepared to make the decisions that you need to make for yourself and your family. If you've got somebody who is thinking about buying, selling, or investing, or maybe yourself, make sure to share this with them. This will bring some valuable information to them and get them up to date. I'm Joshua Ferris with Atlas Real Estate and Investment. I'm a Central Coast realtor and Central Coast native. And today we're going to be talking about the real estate market and what you can be expecting for the next couple months, where we've been and where we might be headed. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So let's go ahead and get started. It is a seller's market. If you're a buyer out there, you know that you're having some difficulty. And if you're a seller, you're getting the maximum price that you've seen for your property in the last few years. So let's go ahead and take a look at some important statistics, starting with new listings. So new listings, March 2022, we had 328 for the county, Los Osos 13, San Luis City 35, Paso Robles City 75. Let's rewind real quick here to last year in 2022 of March, and we can see that San Luis Obispo County had 450. Let's roll it back another year, back in 2020. In March, we had 395. So new listings were down since last year. So another important indicator for us is month supply. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And real quick, month supply is if no new listings reach the market and there were all those buyers that are out there looking right now, how long would it be until they exhaust all of the available inventory and there's no more inventory left? And in this case, it's 1 month. So let's take a look at the month supply. So month supply is right around 1 month there for San Luis County, Los Osos 0.8, San Luis City 0.6. Taking a look back last year in 2021, we've seen 1.4 for the county. Taking it back 1 year, 3.6 in March of 2020. And then in 2019, right around 4. So we've definitely seen a decrease for the month supply. So there's high demand, low inventory. That's what we're seeing, and the month supply, well, it reflects that. Another important indicator for us is the median days on market. So when you bring your property to the market, how many days before it goes pending or under contract? Well, what we're seeing here is a very low days on market. So let's take a look at the days on market for the county. So 6 days on market for the county. If we take a scroll back to 2021, in March, we're about the same, 7. But if we take a look back last year in March of 2020, we're seeing a more realistic days on market of 19. Los Osos, 10, San Luis City, 14, Paso Robles City, 39. This is the median days on market. Now the median days on market really does, like the other indicators, give us a good idea of supply and demand. High demand, low supply, lower days on market, and that's what we're seeing. 6 days on market, it's really low, and you're most likely going to get multiple offers if you are a seller. And if you are a buyer, you're going to need to go get into that property right away, because most likely it'll go pending within a few days. So that's an important one, days on market. So we're seeing the supply, we're seeing the demand. Well, what is this doing for pricing? We have low supply, we have high demand. It is sending the pricing up. So let's take a look at the price per square foot now, and then take a look at it how it was last year or the year before. So March of 2022, we had 500 median price per square foot in Los Osos, 576, 590 for San Luis Obispo City. March of 2021, San Luis Obispo County, 417 price per square foot median. And then back in 2020, in March, we had 369. Back in 2019, we had in March, we had 344. So we've increased just in the last 3 years from 344 up to 500 price per square foot median for the county. So another one that's important for us is the percent of price received compared to the listing price. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. The percent of original price received for the county is 103.9%. If we take a look last month, it was 101.4%, and the month prior in the county, we saw 100.3%. So we've seen an increase for the original price, percent of original price received, and what that indicates for us is that there's still strong demand for real estate here on the Central Coast. Those are all important indicators for us to understand, but what does it really mean and how can we use it to kind of get in a sense for where the market might be headed? And so you can get a sense for a buyer, as a buyer, seller, or investor. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So we know that it is a seller's market. There's really no doubt about that. You bring your house to the market, your property to the market, you're most likely going to get multiple offers right away. And if you're a buyer, you really need to come in strong. You need to be pre-approved. You need to either come in with cash or high down payment, and you need to be ready to release some of your contingencies right away. And that'll help if you are pre-approved for that. So it's tough out there as a buyer. What do I recommend to buyers? Be patient and make sure that you are well prepared. Don't go into the market, don't go into the game underprepared and looking to get your offer accepted without putting in the proper preparation. So make sure you're well prepared as you enter the market, and make sure that you really get into those homes right away that you're interested in, because they're going to go pending pretty quick. So what does this mean for you sellers? Well, I think that there's going to be a continued strong demand for here in the Central Coast. A lot of it is going to be coming from buyers that are in the Northern California area and in the Southern California area. I think there's going to be continued second home or vacation home purchases. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. But is it going to last? Well, I think there's going to be more inventory that's come on the market come springtime and summer. And this typically happens, and with more inventory, there's more options for buyers, and typically something has to give, and usually it's price. So I anticipate there's going to be a little bit of a softening in the real estate market for your homes that you're looking to sell, but I think that might actually be a good thing. One of the issues that I'm seeing for a lot of sellers, especially sellers that are contingent sellers, and that's really the focus point on this, is they're having a tough time getting their contingent purchases and their contingent offers to be accepted. So for example, we had some clients of ours that we're working with, and we went ahead and put their property on the market. We got multiple offers. We got a lot of interest. We got their property in escrow. But the tough thing was getting their replacement property offer accepted. And if you want more information on that, and you want to go ahead and learn more about how you can prepare yourself if you're a contingent seller buyer, I've got another video. Go ahead and check on that one, and that'll give you some insight. But it's tough as a contingent seller, and that's what we're seeing. So with more inventory, I think we're going to have a better chance for you contingent sellers out there finding a replacement property and getting your offer accepted. Now, some things to keep an eye about, right? There's no certainties, there's only possibilities, probabilities. And another factor to consider, and I think this is going to be an important one as we enter into the fall, is higher inflation. So with higher inflation, we're going to see discretionary spending possibly go down, and anybody maybe who got into a home in the last couple years and their price to their mortgage, the income debt to income ratio was pretty high, and if everything else is increasing in price, let's say gasoline, let's say groceries, whatever it is, there's going to have to be a give somewhere. So if somebody was already thinking, hey, I'm thinking about selling, I want to get the best price for my home, it may push them to go ahead and list their home because the cost of everything else is going up. And when you have a fixed cost like a mortgage and everything else is going up, well, what are you going to do? You're going to sell your house and get out from under that mortgage and possibly downsize. So I see that with increased inflation, we may see some increased inventory and some increased sales coming up in the next couple months. So that's just something to keep an eye on as well. Something else that's important to keep an eye on is the mortgage rate. We're seeing the mortgage rates increase, and with an increase of the mortgage rate, that means a decrease in buying power for buyers. So there may still be cash buyers out there, there always are, but with financed offers, I think we're going to continue to see a decrease in buying power. Decrease in buying power means less offers on the table for you as a seller. So if you are considering selling, I would recommend doing so earlier than later, because with increased inflation, with increased mortgage rates, it's going to be more and more difficult to secure a buyer out there. And so that's just something to keep in mind as the interest rates increase, buying power decreases, and that's not a good sign for sellers out there. It's not all doom and gloom though, because I think that there could be some correction and some more of a healthy real estate market. Like I said, back to those contingent sellers and buyers. So it may be better overall, more of a healthy market. But I think those, what's the solution to high prices? High prices. So higher prices, less buyers, especially with those mortgage rates going up, and it's going to have to correct. So what does this all mean? Well, my recommendation for sellers, as I've said multiple times in other videos, is sell your property if you're thinking about it. Now this isn't, I'm not saying to go ahead and sell your property if you haven't been thinking about it, but if you have been thinking about it, now might be a good time. Get your property on the market, get it sold. If you're a contingent buyer, you're selling your home and then you're going to buy another home, well, maybe it would be a good time to look for a replacement rental and rent for a few months. And as we enter into fall and springtime of next year, we may see some softening of prices. If you're an investor, there always are deals out there, and I think that there's going to be more opportunities, especially for the rental market. So if you're looking to buy something and rent it out, I think we're going to see some more people looking for rentals in the upcoming months, which is going to put the price of rentals higher. And if you're a buyer, make sure that you're pre-approved, make sure that you're ready to make an offer and that your offer can be strong. We've got a great team here that can get you prepared if you are a buyer. And being a listing agent and a buyer's agent myself, I can understand what it takes to get an offer accepted. Now, you don't have to be all cash to get your offer accepted, but you do need to be prepared if you are a financed offer. So feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help and set you up with our team so that you're better prepared as a buyer. And if you're a seller, reach out to us. We're happy to provide market analysis and talk to you about your goals. So those are just some things. Real quick wrap up. Wanted to keep this short and sweet. Make sure to share this, like I said, with somebody who is thinking about buying or selling or investing. We're happy to help with them and get them to their goals. So hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.